Hi there, my name's Matt and welcome to my house. It's a 1930s mid-terrace and I've done various measures like solar panels you can see, and heat pump and underfloor insulation, underfloor heating and a battery, and my main motivation is climate change. I'm an energy consultant. I've been working in climate change for about 12-13 years now. So reducing my carbon was the primary thing, but also because I'm an energy consultant, it's really useful to understand actually how these measures work in practice. This is the air source heat pump, the external unit. It's Mitsubishi EcoDan 8.5 kilowatts, and inside there's the hot water cylinder which it feeds into. It's not particularly, well, you certainly can't hear it inside. It's not noisy inside. Obviously it's got a fan in it, so if it's on when you're outside then you will hear it, but I've never heard it from the inside. At the moment there's no heating on, so it'll only come on once a day or so to top up the hot water. In the middle of winter it might be on most of the daytime. On the roof you can see the solar panels. There's actually solar panels on the other side as well. It's a east-west facing roof, and there's 4 kilowatts in total, 2.5 on this side, 1.5 on the other. They were actually one of the first things I did back in 2012, so they're about 10 years old now, so I've got a really good understanding of how well they're performing. And then last year I installed a smart battery system. So before I was probably using about 20% of the energy from the panels, and then the rest of it was going back into the grid. And now I'm using closer to 50. So this is the smart battery. It's by a company called Moixa, and it's 4.8 kilowatt hours. And it's a smart battery, so what it will do is it will, if the sun is shining and I'm not using enough energy in the house, it will charge the battery, and then it will discharge it in the evening when the sun's not shining and I'm using appliances. But it can also link with smart tariffs. So it can, if I've got a tariff which is say low cost overnight, then I can charge it up overnight at the low rate and then discharge it when I need it in the day. And it can also link to a smart export tariff, so it can decide whether it's more beneficial for me to use the energy in the house or to export it to the grid and get a better export rate. So when I bought the solar panels, I got the feed-in tariff. It wasn't on the best rate at the beginning, but it was still pretty good. So I'm about 10 years in now and have basically paid those back from the feed-in tariff. And actually that means I can put the feed-in tariff that I'm still getting for the next 15 years into things like the heat pump and the battery. The heat pump, I got the renewable heat incentive, which is no longer available, but there's a new grant called the boiler upgrade scheme. So my advice to people wanting to do work on the house is to plan things out well in advance. So even if you're not planning to do any works now, just kind of sit down and work out what measures you want to install, get some advice from the various websites or people or companies that you may know. What kind of insulation could you do? What the benefit's going to be, how much it's going to cost approximately. Focus on insulation as much as you can first.